Hey guys, this is Pastor Lens of Breakthrough Ministry, and I just wanted to come here with a message titled Scratch Out Your Hand, Faith Moves Before the Miracle Shows Up. And a lot of times it's like, okay, how do I move? What do I do? What is walking by faith like? What is this, right? Because there's moments in our life when God would tell us to move, even if we can't see that the path is clear. So God is speaking. God is saying, I need you to move. I need you to go. And we're like, ain't no way I can cross over this river and I don't know how to swim. So to reach, even when we don't see, sometimes we're like, okay, Lord, what am I reaching for? Where am I going? Why am I quitting? Why am I applying? Why am I doing what it is that you're asking me to do when I don't see a way in what you're asking? That becomes a lot of our questions. So he's telling us you got to reach, right? When we don't know what we're reaching for. He's telling us to walk, even though the grounds that we are walking on, it looks invisible. We can't even find the grounds. But guess what? That is called faith. Faith is not waiting for the proof. If you see it, then there's no reason for faith, right? Faith is when you scratch out your hand as if what you have prayed for is already there. You know what? I prayed for this. I trust in my sovereign God, my almighty, magnificent God, that I'm going to go ahead and scratch out my hand and believe that what I asked for, he's already done, right? So you got a few points here. So point one, faith walks before it sees. Again, faith walks before it sees. It says, for we walk by faith and not by sight. That is 2 Corinthians 5:7. So basically what it's telling us, if we look at Peter, okay, in Matthew 14, what Peter do? Peter turned around and he walked on that water. All Jesus had to say was come. One word, come. Well, I'm telling you, Jesus is saying that one word to you right now. Just come. I know you see the water. I know you can't see solid ground. I know you cannot swim, but I need you to trust me and I need you to come. So Peter, he didn't wait for that water to turn into concrete and say, you know what, Lord, all of this water out here, sharks are out here. You know what? I'm going to wait until I see it turn into concrete. I want to see what you're walking on first, because there's no way I believe you walking on this water. And it was dark. So Peter might couldn't even see for real, exactly what it was that Jesus was walking on, even though pretty sure it was clear as water. But one thing about us humans, we try to process things that we can't understand to a way that we can't understand it. So what did Peter do? He stepped out first. And as he stepped out, what happened? The miracle of him walking and standing on water, it met him. Come on, saints. All right, I'm going to give y'all another point. Point two, faith reaches for what it can't see. Faith reaches for what it can't see. Well, let's talk about somebody. So the man with the withered hand in Mark 3:15, we just went over this in Bible study a few weeks ago. Jesus said to him, stretch out your hand. That's all he said. Now imagine my hand is withered. And here Jesus is saying, stretch out your hand. Now that don't make sense because I cannot stretch out my withered hand, but because Jesus said, stretch out your withered hand. And because faith reaches for what it can't see, what did that man do? He stretched out his withered hand. God strengthened that hand and it was no longer withered. What is it that the Lord is telling you right now to just scratch? Another point is faith moves in the dark. So back in the Bible in Mark 5:25-34, we just went over this one as well. We talked about that woman with the issue of blood. I done preached on this woman with the issue of blood. She reached in the dark, right? So remind you, she couldn't even get through the crowd to Jesus. She didn't even want to get Jesus' attention and say, look at me, here I am. So the attention seekers, I'm telling you right now, you don't need to seek the attention of Jesus. Jesus already can heal you just by your faith of reaching out. So she reached out in the dark and faith made the connection because she had no clue. Everybody, a lot of people Jesus talked to, he interacted with, all she did was reached out to the clothing. Who touched me? Are you reaching out to touch Jesus? Because that's what she did. So she couldn't get to him the way that she thought that she could or that people normally may get to him. Just her faith of if I can just touch. And guess what? Faith made the connection. Point 4 is faith steps into impossibility. Whew, let's see about that. What's impossible for man is possible to God. So the Red Sea, Exodus 14. Moses lifted up his hand and the people moved forward. But it wasn't his hand that really did the work, right? God opened up what looked unstoppable. He just used Moses because a lot of times we want to be able to see some type of connection. So Moses was the connection to God, right? Because remember, I was ready to go back. Let me go back to Egypt. This looks too hard. I'd rather be enslaved again. So he had to use somebody that man could see. And what he did, he opened up the unopenable. Who can open up a Red Sea? Who can depart the waters? Nobody but God. And you still don't have the faith that is required. All you gotta do is trust God. Let me go back and let me read the word, right? Let me go back. Let me see what he did for Abraham. Let me see what he did for Isaac. Let me see what he did for Moses. Let me go see what he did with the woman with the issue of blood. Let me go back and see what he did with Jesus for resurrection. Let me just go back and see what the good God did. So basically, faith, it feels like walking on invisible ground. You can't see where you're going. You can't even see where you're standing, right? It's like you're reaching for the invisible help and you also trusting an invisible plan. But if God is the author and the finisher, I believe his plan is one that I will trust because I know my plan has led me down dark valleys, have led me down destruction, have led me down torn, broken-hearted relationships. My way have led me places that I say I would never ever enter again. I would never ever go again. But God is always present. He always guiding. He always working. He is a shepherd to the lost sheep. You can follow him and you will know where you're going without even knowing. So scratch out your hands, saints, and take the step by trusting God. That's all you need to do. Sometimes I think we put so much thought in it, so much. Okay, it got to be more. It got to be something else. I'm telling you, it don't require anything else. All it requires is your belief and your faith that God can do it. God will do it. God has already did it. And that right there, saints, is how you get the miracles that God have waiting, the blessings that God have waiting to fall right into your lap. Trust the sovereign God, the invisible God. Blessed are those who have seen. Blessed are those who believe and have not seen. Blessed are you. So guess what, saints? You're going to come up out of this. You're going to be all right. You're going to make it. You're going to survive. You're going to overcome all of these good things. Just trust in God. Be blessed. Pastor Lance of Breakthrough Ministries.